Hey everybody, welcome back to Jon David's Journey. I'm Justin, Jon David's dad, and today was a relatively stable day. He took a baby step forward, and we'll talk about it here in a second. So he was planning to come down with his oxygen. They tried to. He was at 4 liters, went down to 3, and it didn't take. They put him back up to 4, and they went from 55% to 60%, but he's been doing really well this evening. I think the plan is probably tonight to come back down to 55%. So again, kind of standstill on oxygen. However, the steps that he did take forward, and granted they were baby steps, but they're steps forward, where his BMX went up, or is now going to be going intral, meaning it's not going to go through his IV anymore. It'll start being put through his feeds. So that's a good step forward that we won't have to worry about, like doing a shot or having IVs at discharge, at least not with the BMX, with the diuretics. Also, the other big step that he took forward is that he increased his calories on his food. So they kept the rate at 23 milliliters per hour, but they went from 20 calories to 22 calories, which isn't like necessarily a big thing for you or I, because we have a whole lot of calories that we burn throughout the day, but for him, that's a pretty big deal. So it basically equates to like an extra 40 calories a day for him, which again, for a baby is pretty big. So hopefully he's been tolerating it well all day. Hopefully it'll continue, and then that way he will start gaining more weight, which again is a great thing because it means he's getting bigger and stronger. So they're also they did a little bit today. They weaned his hydrocortisol, which is a steroid, down, and it's gotten to the point where it's what his body would normally be making on its own. And so they actually had somebody come from hormones, their endocrinologist, and then they said that from here on out it's going to be a much slower wean, so it'll take about as long as he was on it. He was on it for about 6 weeks, so it'll be a very slow wean over 6 weeks to coming down. But again, it's good news that we are at that point where we can pass it off from the ICU team to the endocrinologist. Also, genetics came by. He had some genetic testing and had an anomaly, which part of that anomaly is what is his diagnosis, the toss being anomaly. But they came by to just kind of follow up, make sure everything's checking out, and they said he looks good. So that's also good news. And then outside of his update today, just family stuff. Hunter went back to Lake Waccamaw to get back into his normal routine and kind of get back to doing what he does. He also ate lunch with Gigi. That's who picked him up. She met me halfway and took him back, and he had fun eating at Char Grill. He spent time with Mimi on the go-go and playing pickleball and made some new friends from pickleball. Steve and I went out and ate at a China buffet, and I had my favorite thing, which was seafood. It was shrimp and crawfish. The big news this evening, or I guess one of the two big things for like me and Mallory that we were really excited about, was that his EEG Aunties came by, Tangy and Courtney, and they got to hold him, which is one of the things that if y'all been following like through this whole thing, the night that he had the stroke, they came and were his EEG techs and were put the leads on him and helped console Mallory and helped her kind of calm down. They told her like he's gonna be okay. They promised him this and that. And so because of all that, Mallory made a deal with him and said, look, when he's fine, y'all come and hold him. And they were like, deal. So they messaged me the other night and were like, yeah, you're not in your room. Like, where you at? And I told them that we had been moved over here. And so they came today and got to hold him. You'll be able to see that in the pictures here at the end. Kathy also got to give him a bath. And then the other big thing that we're excited about, and again, this is a lot of like, I guess, relationships that Mallory and I have built with the people here in some of these traumatic experiences, but we've loved the staff here. They come and check on us, and we check in on them when we can, and it's really nice. But Andrew Brown, who was one of the fellows during that time where he had his cardiac arrest and also a stroke, and we got to see him, which we hadn't seen him in weeks because he splits his time between the PCICU and also the PICU. And so we were able to see him and catch up with him tonight, and that was awesome. He told us that he's been, following Jon David this entire time, just making sure that he's been doing all right. So it's been a really, really good time. We also got to catch up about Carolina basketball and talk about it a little bit. That's actually one of the things that we talked about a little bit before all the trauma stuff happened. But again, it's been a very good day. It's been a busy day, but a very good day. So hope y'all have a good night and God bless, and enjoy the clips.
Pieces left, only that little piece. There's no big pieces left. Somebody ate them all.
Go.
And Jon David, tell everybody bye-bye.